Hello and welcome to Squirrel Pie Productions, my podcast about knitting, spinning, and sewing. My name is Tommi. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Dynamite Trujillo. Welcome to episode 57 of my podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are a new viewer, welcome to the podcast, and if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Today is a really nice, bright, and sunny Friday in May here on the Northern California coast where I'm coming to you from. May is my very favorite month of the whole year because it is my birthday month. So, I encourage you to go check out the Ravelry group for this podcast. That is where you'll find the show notes for this episode and all previous episodes. It's where you'll find knit-along stuff, giveaway stuff, and some other fun stuff. So check that out if you haven't yet. I would love for you to join in on the conversation. We do have a knit-along that has been running for a little while now, and it is now over. So I have drawn winners for that knit-along, and I'm going to pretty much announce them now. So what I'm going to do is put a timestamp somewhere here. If you want to skip the winner announcement section, feel free to do that. But for now, let's get on with the winners of the kit-along. So, the kit-along, by the way, I'm drinking some delicious coffee today in my Pusheen mug. Okay, so we had the kit-along. This is where you could make anything you wanted for a kid or baby or anybody who's not an adult. And we had so many entries in the FO thread. There was some awesome chit chat in the chatter thread, and thank you so much to everybody who participated. That's my chicken. I'm sure you probably heard it. I'm sorry. If she keeps fussing, I will go throw food at her. That will shut her up. Anyway, get along. Thank you for those of you who participated. I participated a lot in this knit-along. I knit a lot for my own baby who is due in July, and it was really nice to have your company in that. Okay, before I announce winners, I'm gonna go shut that chicken up. Okay, I'm back. So the chickens are subdued with some food, so hopefully they stay out of our hair for the rest of the episode. Okay, so back to the winners for the kit-along. Thank you everybody who participated. As I was saying before, knit a bunch for this knit-along for my own baby, and it was really awesome to have the company of you guys knitting with me for other babies and kids. So thank you for participating. And I drew 5 winners from the FO thread randomly, and here they are. So the first winner is going to be winning this absolutely gorgeous project bag from Autumn, who made and donated this to us. And Autumn is Coddington, and she does not have a shop, so you cannot go purchase this bag. But she is a maker and a viewer of the podcast and a participant of the knit-along, and she so kindly donated this bag for a winner. And I love it. This winner's super lucky. So, the winner of that gorgeous project bag was post number 135, who is Mariknitsalot, who is Mari from Norway. Congratulations, Mari, you won that project bag. So be sure to message me on Ravelry or Instagram or email if you'd like. And let me know your full name and mailing address, and I will get your prize out to you. Congratulations. And I have my cheat sheet here because I wrote everything down. So on to the next winner. And the next winner will win this gorgeous skein of Mad Fuzzy yarn. And this was generally donated to us by Marta, and this is a really gorgeous skein of natural rustic hand-dyed sock yarn. So this is out of Maine. It's East Frisian wool and Starfire nylon. So the winner of this really gorgeous skein of sock yarn is post number 121, WildHandmade, who is Leah from France, also from the All I Knit Is Love podcast, which is a really awesome podcast that you should totally be watching if you don't already. So congratulations, Leah. You participated and you won this super gorgeous skein of rustic sock yarn. So message me and I'll get this out to you. The next and last winner of a physical prize is going to be winning this skein of Happy Little Yarn. Another super generous and kind donation. And this is a superwash merino nylon sock yarn, and it's really, really pretty. The winner of this is post number 248, who is, I'm gonna say Susie Q, but that's probably not what it is. It might be Sue Sec, but your name is Sue. And you live in New Zealand, so congratulations, Sue. You have won this skein of sock yarn. Message me, give me your full name and address, and I will get it out to you. We had, of our physical prize winners, all international winners. I was pretty excited to see that. We've got winners from New Zealand, Norway, and France. How cool is that? So congratulations, Sue, for winning a prize. Next two winners are of patterns. So these two patterns were generously donated to us by the designers. Thank you so much. And the first one is the Bride by the Sea shawl, designed by Jenn Sheelen. And the winner of that was post number 9, who is Mem5659, who is Mary Ellen from Washington. Congratulations, Mary Ellen. You don't have to do anything. You can just sit back and wait for your pattern to arrive, because I am going to let the designer know that you won, and she will gift it right to you. So congratulations on winning a shawl pattern. The last prize is for the Only Ways Up Cowl by Cozy Cute Knits. The winner of that was post number 32, who is Emily Marianne, who is Emily from Arizona. Congratulations, Emily. You won that copy of that pattern, so kick back. It should arrive in your Ravelry box sometime soon. So congratulations, and thank you not only to all of our winners for participating, but to everybody who participated. I love knit-alongs. I love hosting knit-alongs. I love giving away prizes. So this was really, really fun. And I have my wheels turning for my next knit-along, so keep an eye out for that. And we'll get going on another one, because I really, really like it when you guys make things with me, because it's fun. Okay, so knit-along stuff over. We can move on to the knitting now, because I'm not wearing anything handmade. So I do have an FO though. Let me get rid of my cheat sheet here and drink some Pushin coffee. I'm ready. My first FO. Are you ready? It's really cool. I made some baby socks. Yep, baby socks. They were super fun to knit, super fast. I used as a guide the Perfect Fit Newborn Socks by Kelly Potla. That's a free pattern on Ravelry, and I went to that pattern based on the recommendation of the Hey Sister podcast girls, because they knit these socks a while ago for one of their babies, and they liked it, so I thought I'd check it out. And I like it too. It's free, so that's pretty awesome. It's a nice pattern. It's 2x2 rib with fingering weight yarn, and it's got a heel flap and gusset, which, as you know, is my absolute favorite. And I don't really know what works well and doesn't work well for baby socks, because I've never had a baby before. So I think what I'm gonna do in knitting baby socks is kind of try out a bunch of different heels and styles, because I don't know, I've heard a lot of people say a lot of baby socks don't stay on babies. Also, they're gonna grow out of them probably like super quick, so I don't know. They're tiny, who cares? I'm gonna knit a bunch of them with a bunch of different heels and like styles, and we'll see. We'll see which ones I like. But this one's got a heel flap and gusset, which is my favorite anyway for heels. It's got a pretty standard wedge toe. And the thing about this pattern that she kind of like, she wrote this pattern because she wanted a pattern like this, is she wrote a really long foot. And like I've said, I don't know anything about babies or like how big they are. I don't know how long babies' feet are, but she said that the length that she wrote into the pattern was extra long so that it would be good for baby's foot. It seemed really, really long. She wanted you to knit, I think it was 20 rounds after the gusset decreases. And I read a lot of the project pages, as I always kind of do, and a lot of them said it was too long for them. So I only did 15 rounds after the gusset decreases. So I didn't quite follow the pattern, but I used the pattern pretty much for the stitch count. And then I also did not follow it for the heel flap and gusset. I just followed kind of my normal formula for a heel flap and gusset and scaled down based on my stitch count. So this is 32 stitches, and I used a German twisted cast on and 2x2 ribbing all the way down. The yarn that I used is Cloud Lover, and this is in the Apple Picking colorway, which was the September 2014 Yarn Club colorway. So this is some deep stash. I actually have used about half of the skein already in some yoga socks that I knit for a gift years ago. And I have like half the skein left just in a cake, so I used it here and I like it. It's not really generally my colors when it comes to yarn, which is why I've never used my my second half of the cake, but I figured scraps perfect for baby socks. So one does look a teeny bit bigger than the other one. Don't know why, but oh well. But I really enjoyed knitting these. It took me about one movie to knit one sock, which was awesome. And I plan to knit, hopefully, quite a few more of these. I want a pretty big stash of all kinds of little socks for my kid. So we'll see what I do next. I'm kind of thinking the next one I might do is going to be kind of reminiscent of the Rose City Roller pattern, which I am just going to cast on like, it's probably the same stitch count, and just immediately start in stockinette without doing any cuff, like any ribbing for the cuff. And then I don't know what kind of heel I'll do, but like I'm just thinking of some kind of rolled shorty socks for the next ones. We'll see. And I'll just kind of go scrap diving to see what I want to use next. But I'm really, really happy with how these came out, and I hope to knit a lot more. So, on to works in progress. I first off have living in my Emerald Fibers project bag, which is hand embroidered and absolutely freaking gorgeous. I love it. I've got some socks. And these are my Mondum socks. So I've been working on these for a little while now. Here's the tag for the yarn. And this is Mondum by Retrosaria, which is a Portuguese yarn shop and company. And I'm just completely in love with this yarn. I'm devoted to it now. I'm a huge fan. I really, really, really want to buy more. So this is 100% Portuguese wool sock yarn, no nylon, it's non-superwash, and the colors are just amazing, and I love them. I want to buy so much more of not only this yarn, but a bunch of the other yarn that she carries in her shop. I will link to her shop in the show notes because it's pretty incredible, and I love it, and I really want all of the yarn that they sell. So here are my socks. And so it is a yarn that was dyed in what I'm calling like a variegated style. because it is pooling. It's not a self-striping, it's a pooling yarn. And with my particular stitch count, it's doing this kind of pseudo micro striping. And I'm really, really happy that it did that, because with a different stitch count, it could pull differently. It could pull in flashes of color rather than these like nice stripes. So I'm super happy with that. These are a 56 stitch count sock. I did a German twisted cast on with a 2x2 rib, and they're just vanilla. I've done my heel, and of course it's a heel flap and gusset with a slip stitch heel. And I'm almost, I think I'm like super duper close to starting my toe. And that is a little bee progress keeper from Beehive Yarns. And I just really, really like these colors. They're my favorites. There's mint, and there's pink, and there's a grayish purple, and there's a brownish gray. And I love them. And I love how this yarn feels so much. It really does feel really natural. It feels pretty lanolin-y, and it's just wonderful. I love it so much. Highly, highly recommend trying out this yarn for socks or for anything. They have other colors that are solid or marled that I think would make an amazing garment. So I don't know, maybe get your hands on some. Probably, right? And I love knitting on these. Recently, well, I cannot remember who it was that was talking about this, and I wish I could, but somebody in a recent podcast that I was watching was talking about how they do not like this kind of skein style, just because when you're pulling from it, it like gets all like bleh. And I was watching that and thinking how completely I agree. Because this has been kind of annoying, just especially since my project bag is so small. A lot of times I like to leave my yarn in the project and pull from it. And obviously that doesn't work because it doesn't have room to flip around and stuff. And also, I've never been good at pulling from the center of these things, so I'm not even going to try that. And what she did was I think she wound it into a cake first, and I was like, I should have done that. But yeah, not my favorite form of yarn skein or ball or put up to work from, but it looks really nice. I love the way it looks. It just, you know, you start to pull from it and then it can get stuck and you have to like flip it over and like that. But that aside, I love these so much. I'm using a size 1 needle, as I usually do, and these are my Haya. No, they're not. They are my Chiaogu mini twist interchangeables, and they're my very favorite sock needles because they're the best, right? I'm just gonna say it. So, good old socks. Love them. My next work in progress is living in my Ghastly's project bag with a unicorn on it. And this is my Hansel hat. So I am working on the Hansel hat by Gudrun Johnston, and this is going to be a baby blanket for myself, for my baby. And with this pattern, you start out with a big center square that is knit diagonally, and then you pick up for the border. And I am almost done with my center square. Yep, I got one little corner left to go. And the yarn that I'm using for this, for the center square, I'm using Moonstone Dyeworks, which is my hand-dyed yarn company, in the Natural Merino base, which is my fingering weight, non-superwash, 100% organic Falkland merino base. It's not a colorway. It is just the yarn in its natural form from the mill. And so far, this is my first skein, so I'm most likely going to have to break into a second skein for part of the border that calls for this. And I have been having such a freaking good time working on this. All it is natural cream colored yarn so far, But I love garter. I love knitting straight up back and forth forever. So this has been super duper fun. Pretty much it's just a big diagonal square. You start in one end, you do a bunch of increases, you get to the widest point, you start doing a bunch of decreases, and I am almost done. I'm using a size 8, US 8 from my Hiya Sharp interchangeable set. And the yarn that I will be using for the border is this Nunaba yarn. And this is a hand dyer out of Australia, and she uses white gum wool, so that's what this is. And white gum wool is an ethically raised form of wool, I believe from Tasmania, but I did not actually look it up. A really kind viewer in one of my past episodes left a comment saying that that's what she was pretty sure it was, so I'm going on that. So thank you for letting me know. But yeah, ethically raised white gum wool, dyed in Australia. Colorway is Saint Emilion. Also, I was informed of that by another lovely and informative viewer because I could not read the tag. But here's her tag. Nunaba Yarns. I'm pretty sure she uses all white gum wool, and I really, really like her stuff. So check her out. And one thing I really, really love about her is that her tag is on this natural brown craft paper with this metallic print on it. It's called gold foil. I used to work at Kinko's. There's gold foil printing on her tag, which I am obsessed with. And honestly, I wish I could get that on my tags because my tags are made out of similar craft, natural brown craft paper. But unfortunately, well, I use a local print shop to make my tags, and they do not offer gold foil stamping, so boo. But I love this. Anyway, this is kind of hard to see, but it is a gradient. You can kind of see the gradient colors here. And it starts at this taupey brown, goes to a silver gray, and then to a pink. And I am going to use this for the border. I'm going to start with the taupey brown, and then it's going to end with the pink, and then there'll be more natural cream color on the very edge. So I love this project so far a lot. I've been wanting to make a proper hat for a long time. I've been wanting to make, I've had this pattern in my library for a long time, and I'm really, really happy to be using it. One of my favorite parts about this pattern, and I have experienced this once before in another Gudrun Johnston pattern that I've knit, are these edge pieces where you do this kind of loop at the beginning or the end of every, yeah, it's at the beginning of every row. And it's gonna make it really easy to pick up stitches when I pick up for the border, and I just think it looks so cool. I really love it. I made her Havre shawl a while ago, and that uses the same technique, and it does look very, very cool between sections, having that kind of open row of stitches. It's gonna look super cool. I'm really excited about it. So sometime pretty soon I am going to be switching yarns, and I'll be working on the edge, and I could not be more happy with this shawl, or with this blanket. It's a blanket to me. It's a shawl or a blanket, whatever. I'm gonna use it as a blanket, and I'm super happy with it. I'm really excited. So that is my Hansel hat by Gudrun Johnston. Awesome pattern. I totally think you should make one too if you want. She does offer a half hap version if you're into the triangular shawl thing. So check it out. Okay. I think I need to drink some coffee. What's next? Next I have 2 sweaters because that is who I am now. I knit 2 sweaters at a time because I'm cool like that and I can handle it, not freaking out. The first one is living in my gorgeous Lost and Fond project bag, and This is my Quiet Stars cardigan. So this is a pattern by Locatel. It was released in the latest Interpretations volume, which is volume 5. And I really wanted to knit this cardigan, so I purchased the whole ebook. And I'm really happy that I did, because there are at least, I think I would knit half the patterns in Interpretations if I had all the time in the world. I realistically know that I want to knit one more. I think it's the Rose Quartz cardigan, which is a DK weight cardigan by Veera Volimaki. And that's definitely like next, like immediate next on my to knit list. I really like it. It's very similar to the Comfort Fade cardigan by Andrea Mowry. But what I like a lot better about it is that it's not in reverse stockinette, because I'm not really that into reverse stockinette. Another big difference is that I've like compared the two a lot, because I've really researched knitting the Rose Quartz cardigan and like what I would want to do. And another big difference is that the gauge is much different. They're both DK weight cardigans. They both have very similar constructions. But the Comfort Fade cardigan has a much tighter gauge, and the Rose Quartz cardigan has a really loose gauge. I'm thinking I want to go somewhere in the middle. What I'm thinking is that I want to knit the Rose Quartz cardigan and go down maybe a needle size to tighten up the gauge just a teeny bit, because it's really loose. And yeah, anyway, tangent. I really want to knit that cardigan. And I'm thinking about what yarn I want to use. I think I might dye some myself with my Merino DK base and possibly do a fade like the Comfort Fade cardigan. I'm thinking I might do something like Crescent Moon into waxing with like full moon in the middle. So it's like a speckle and then a tonal and then a darker tonal of the same color family. I don't know. Let's talk about the Quiet Stars, because that's what I actually am knitting. So this is a really, really gorgeous lace open front cardigan by Locatel. And I've shown you what it looks like on the screen. And now I'm going to show you this, which looks like absolutely nothing. So here's what I have so far. Pretty much. It's an interesting construction, as are a lot of these kind of really wide shawl collar cardigans. It's a very similar construction to the Even Flow cardigan that I knit also by Locatel like last month or last year or something like that. Where you start with, so this here, this lacy part is the collar. I started in the middle and then knit out both ways. And then this part here is the back. And then here's an armhole, and here's an armhole in the making. So pretty much it goes like that. I mean, that still doesn't look like anything. I can see it though. I can see it as I'm doing it. So the yarn that I'm using is, this is the current cake that I'm using. And this is O-Wool in their O-Wash fingering base. And it's in the Pearly Muscle colorway, which is a really, it's like one of my favorite shades of kind of a grayish, purple, light grayish purple, light grayish lavender. I don't know, something like that. It's a grayish purple and it's light in color. I love it so much. I bought 3 skeins of this yarn from Stitches West, which was an event that I attended in February. And this is going so perfectly with this cardigan. I love it so much. I'm still on the first skein. And I am using a size 4, US 4 high sharp needle, which is the recommended needle for the pattern. Let's show you my gauge swatch, just cause that's what it looks like. I like knitting gauge swatches. I think it's fun. So this lace pattern is super easy and intuitive and memorizable. This kind of dots pattern, it's just like a knit purl pattern, is also super duper easy and memorizable. I am almost done with with any section that's going to be using this dot pattern, and then the whole rest of it is going to be in lace soon. So that can be a little not my style, because you know how much I love some just straight up stockinette. So a whole cardigan, most of the cardigan in a lace stitch is a little, I mean, I've done it. It's not like hard. It's just a little beyond my attention span maybe. But I think it's gonna be totally fine, because like I said, it is a really, really simple, repeatable lace pattern. And I have it memorized. I know, you know, I keep track of my rows. As soon as I know what row I'm on, I just do it without looking at any references. So I'm really excited to get to the part where I get past the sleeve holes and I can just start knitting down, and then I get to do some sleeves. I think the sleeves are in that dot pattern too, so that'll be fun. And this is a really nice open cardigan, which I love. I love open cardigans because I usually wear them open anyway, even if they have buttons. And I like them when they're long and kind of, not necessarily oversized, but drapey and flowy. I like it when they're kind of fitted at the top and then they kind of A-line out. I like it, and I think this is going to do that. I'm most likely going to knit it a little longer than the pattern calls for, because I love a long cardigan. Love it. So yeah, this is really simple so far. The construction's, you know, a little interesting, but it's not hard, and it's really easy to execute. That's what I'm looking for. As with pretty much all Joji Locatelli patterns I've learned about myself, I have had to actually rewrite my instructions for myself. So I'm at this point where she calls for you to do two separate things in a single row. So I've got the lace repeat and I've got the dots repeat that happen in the same row. And they have a certain row repeat for each, and they're different. Like one is like an 8-row repeat, one's like a 6-row repeat or something like that. And you have to do those simultaneously until you get to a certain point. And of course, I can't do that. I use a row counter on an app on my phone, and it only keeps track of one repeat at a time. And so it took me like 10 minutes. Like, how am I gonna keep track of 1 through 8 and 1 through 6 at the same time? So of course I just rewrote the thing. So I'll show you this end of it. I've got this kind of thing going on, which totally works for me. And so all the black, I wrote them all down, like that's the whole thing that I'm doing. And I had to do one on each side. So I wrote it all out. The black slashes were when I was done with each one on the first side. And now I'm going through with pink marker and slashing off when I'm done with each one on the second side. So that is how I do it with that kind of stuff. And I tend to have to do that with every single Joji Locatelli pattern that I knit, just because while her patterns are fantastic and I love them, the way that she writes some of her instructions just don't necessarily work for me. I always kind of have to like make them fit my own brain visually. So that's what I've done there. There were a couple parts where I felt like the instructions weren't quite clear. Like they could have been taken one of two ways, and I wasn't sure which way I should take it. But it was really easily resolved by actually looking at finished object pictures and the pattern picture to see which one it was, because depending on which one it was, it would have had a different effect on the outcome, and I could have seen it. So I just went and looked at pictures and I was like, okay, it's this way. And I generally kind of have to do that with all Joji Locatelli patterns too. Like there's usually one thing that trips me up where I'm like, wait, what does she mean by that? And I have always been able to figure it out really easily. It just takes a little like stopping and going and looking and doing a little teeny bit of research, and then I'm fine. So that cardigan has been awesome so far. I really truly love this yarn. It is so gorgeous. It's a fingering weight 2-ply. What is it? 100% certified organic merino wool. And it is a teeny bit halo-y and sheddy, which started to kind of tiny bit bother me at first, but I do not notice it anymore at all. So that's awesome. And it's really soft. It's really squishy. It's beautiful. I love this yarn. This is my first time using O wool, and I've always wanted to try them. I really like the look of their yarn, and I'm so happy I got to try some with this cardigan. I like it a lot. I do have a bunch of stitches on hold, and my favorite way to keep stitches on hold is just on cables from interchangeable needle sets. So I've got one on a really long Haya cable here, and I have these super cute Haya stoppers that I can screw onto the end so that I don't have to worry about stitches coming off or anything. I like them. I could definitely use with a couple more pairs of those. I could do with a couple more pairs of those. That's how you say it. Moving on to my last work in progress. I am plugging away still at my Ramona cardigan, which is living in my Fat Squirrel project bag with the birds on it. And I am in love with this pattern. It's so easy. I keep dropping everything. Pardon me. Okay, comfortable. Okay, so I love it. I love this pattern so much. And the Ramona cardigan is by Elizabeth Smith, and I'm using Barrett Wool Co. Home in the Folkestone colorway. So this is what she looks like in the skein. And this is another yarn that I picked up at Stitches West in February, and I am so stoked that I am using both sweater quantities that I got already. Yay me. So this is another really nice, really soft, really squishy yarn, and I love it so much. This one is a non-superwash 100% American wool yarn. And this is the yarn company that Susan B. Anderson and her family owns. And this is another one that I kind of always wanted to try ever since it came out, and I'm so happy to be using it. I love it so much. It's really, really gorgeous. This one's a worsted weight 2-ply, and it's very squishy and very soft. And I'm super happy with it. Here's what it looks like in the current cake that I'm using. I bought 4 skeins, and I am on my second skein right now. So here she is so far. I've gotten a lot of work done on this. And that's where I've got. So this is a top-down raglan cardigan, and it has a really wide button band and hem band. I have gotten past the raglan increases, I've done the sleeves, I've done the waist shaping, and now I'm just doing straight stockinette stitch until I get to the length that I want, which is going to be longer than the pattern calls for. According to the pattern, I should be ready to start my hem right now and finish soon, but I'm going longer because, like I said, I like a long cardigan. So I'm definitely adding some length, some inches to that length. And this pattern has this super cool row of garter stitches here for the raglan increases, and also for the side, which ends up looking like a faux kind of side seam. And this yarn is just knitting up really, really gorgeously. I've got my Tilting Planet Progress Keeper with the confetti stars inside, and it's like my favorite progress keeper. I am knitting this on size US 9 Knit Picks interchangeable wood needles. I said last time that I was going to change these out for my new look of needles, but I haven't because I'm lazy and these ones are fine. So. Yeah, this is knitting up super fast. I love stockinette. And I really enjoy working with this yarn so much. I can't wait to wear this thing. I think it's going to be really super wearable. I am excited about the really wide button band. I think it's going to look really, really cool. And I'll have to find some buttons. We'll see if I have buttons here. I have this jar of thrift store buttons that I have had for ages. And I think this calls for pretty big buttons, so we'll see if I have enough matching buttons in that jar to use. I probably don't, but we'll see. Hey, maybe I'll use mismatch buttons. I don't know. I did not get gauge for this pattern. My swatch, I got 2 swatches. I ended up going with this one. So this pattern calls for an Aran weight yarn, and the one she uses in the sample is an Aran weight. And then when you look at the recommended yarn, it's Aran or bulky, and I'm using a worsted weight. So what I did is I did not change needle size. I used the needle size called for in the pattern for the Aran weight yarn. I was very happy with the fabric that I got, and so I just got a different gauge. And what I'm doing to make up for that is instead of knitting my size, I'm knitting the next size up. So instead of knitting the smallest size, which would normally be my size, I'm knitting the second to smallest size. And it seems to be working out so far. I have tried it on and it fits fine. This yarn will grow a little bit after blocking according to my swatch. So I think it's going to be good. That's, I think, my first time. I don't know. I say that. I always say that. I think this is my first time doing this, but I have no idea. I think I don't know. I could have done it before. And what I'm talking about is doing a different gauge, but just doing a different size to make up for it. I think I have done that before. Who knows? Who cares? I'm doing it now. And it seems to be working out fine, and I think it's going to be fine. Now, this is a button-up cardigan with a crew neck. I most likely won't wear it buttoned up. I'll most likely wear it open because that's how I do. Plus, I don't think I will fit in it if I try to button it up because I'm pretty pregnant right now. So, yes, I think that's about it for this. It is gorgeous. It is beautiful. It's a fun pattern. If you are looking for a really basic, classic looking pattern for a cardigan, I really think you should check this one out. It's really nice. It's really simple. It's really classic looking. She also has another version, I think, knit in sport weight, which I'm super interested in as well. So I'm into it, you guys. I like it. Is that it? That's it. That's all my knitting. Shop update. I will be having a shop update in the Moonstone Dyeworks Etsy shop tomorrow, which is Saturday, May 12th at 9 o'clock a.m. Pacific time. I will have only a couple colorways that I dyed these past couple weeks, so I'm going to show you those right now. So the first colorway that I will have up in the shop tomorrow is Waxing. And here it is on Stellina sock and BFL sock. And this is one of my very favorite tonals. I love this colorway so much. This is the one that I want to knit my rose quartz cardigan in on a DK. So this will be up in the shop just on those 2 bases this time. And it's like it's a tonal gray, but it's kind of like a purplish, stonish kind of gray. I really like it a lot. So this is Waxing. And then I will also have one of my brand new colorways from my birthday mini skein set, which did sell out. So thank you so much to everybody who purchased one of those. I hope you like it. And I took they were all new colorways in that set, and I took one of them and did a full batch of it this last week. And this one is Magical Creatures. And I love it so much. I think this is one of my new favorites. So Magical Creatures is a maroonish purple with like a mossy green and some grays and browns, and it's a speckle, and I really like it. This one is also available on Stellina Sock and BFL Sock. So check that out if you're interested. Tomorrow morning, Saturday, May 12th at 9 o'clock Pacific time. That is going to be it for Shop Update this week. I hope you can make it if you want to, and you can get to it through moonstonedyeworks.com, which is linked down below, or just through Etsy. That's where the actual shop is. So, hooray. Okay, favorites. Favorites is my last section of the podcast where I will talk about whatever I happen to be enjoying right now. Right now, it is my birthday month. As I've said, it is my favorite month of the year. I celebrate my birthday all month long. And I will be turning 35 this year on the 31st of May. I'm really, really excited. I took the day off of work for my birthday. It's going to be on a Thursday this year. And so my big plan is to chill at home on my birthday by myself and knit all day long and then get taken out to dinner at night. That is my very favorite way to spend my birthday. Anyway, what I was gonna do for my birthday is buy myself a sweater's quantity of yarn. And I decided that I wanted to buy yarn for the Ambrosia cardigan, which is a cardigan by Gudrun Johnston. And I have wanted to knit this thing ever since I saw both Susan B. Anderson knit it on her podcast and Isabel knit it on her podcast, the Fluffy Fibers podcast. They both knit it, and I fell in love with both of their versions, and I want this thing so bad. It is a bulky weight cardigan, and I do plan on knitting it very soon after I get the yarn, which I know it's summer. I do not knit by season, so. It takes me a long time to pick yarn if I like have a pattern in mind and then I need to pick yarn. I get like decision paralysis and I'm so stuck. So at first I wanted to get the Quince & Co. bulky weight yarn, which is what the pattern calls for. And then I kind of decided I wanted to do Brooklyn Tweed Quarry. So that's what I am going to do. And I've been talking about this, that I wanted to buy this for myself for my birthday. And then my husband offered to get it for me as my birthday gift. And I was like, hell yeah, you can get me yarn for my birthday. That sounds freaking great. So he's going to buy it for me for my birthday present. We haven't gotten it yet because I haven't picked a colorway yet, which is why I'm bringing this up. But he is going to get it for me, and he is not going to let me open it until my birthday. So I have to wait. But I think I might cast it on like on my birthday. But I definitely want to do Brooklyn Tweed Quarry, and I'm really excited about using it. I love Brooklyn Tweed, and I'm interested in their bulky weight quarry yarn. So it comes in really beautiful colorways, and I am torn. I don't know what colorway to choose. I had him help me, and he chose one, and I'm still like, I don't know what to do. So I'm gonna tell you guys the ones that I'm thinking about, and tell me which one you think I should pick, because I cannot pick because I love them all. And if you have a different idea of colorway of Brooklyn Tweed Quarry that you think I should use, tell me that too, because their whole line of colorways for that yarn is just like super gorgeous. So the three that I can't choose from are Granite, which is a light gray, Geode, which is a light like lavender gray. So in the picture on the Brooklyn Tweed website, it looks straight up lavender, but if you look, I've gone through like all the Ravelry projects made with all these yarn colorways. A lot of them look kind of grayish lavender, which, yeah. And then the last one I'm thinking about is Hematite, which is a really deep maroon red, which is a little out of my wheelhouse of colors that I generally use, but it's not out of my comfort zone. I really love that color. And I don't know which one to pick. So that is where I'm at right now. Tell me what you think. If you think I should be using one of the other colorways, let me know. I'm a redhead, and my skin tone is very pale / reddish, you know what I mean? And so some colors don't look that good on me. I've learned by knitting myself a garment in this color that like seafoam green doesn't look that good on me. It looks really weird on me. I've never tried wearing mustard. I don't know. I like the mustard yarn that they have, but I don't know if it would go. I don't know. I don't know. Tell me what you think. What color should I pick? Because I cannot choose. I can't. And I got to soon because I want to get it by my birthday, because it's my birthday present. So I'm super excited about that. I'm really excited about the yarn. I'm really excited about that pattern. And I want to knit it like right now. And this I can say for sure. I have never knit a bulky weight sweater before. So I know it's going to go by nice and quick. And I'm so excited. I love this thing. So that's my favorite for this week. My birthday, that cardigan, and that yarn. So now that that's going to be a birthday present for me, I can still get myself something for my birthday. So I don't know yet. I don't know what I'm going to get, but I'm probably going to get myself something. Okay, so I'm going to leave you guys there. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, feel free, if you would like to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Go join the Ravelry group. Keep an eye out for our next knit along because there is one coming up. And if you won the last knit along for the kit along, congratulations. Make sure to get in contact with me so that I can get your prize out to you. And I hope you guys are having a freaking fantastic spring, a wonderful May. Everybody should have a good May, in my opinion. So hope you're having a great May. Hope you're having fun and knitting and spinning and sewing and doing whatever you do that you love. Have fun and stay awesome. Bye, guys.